Hey, welcome back. We are, I think, done with our kaiju debate about Clifford the dog. So we're gonna hop into this bank heist that we're in the middle of. Um, I'm very excited for this episode because I really can't wait to see reactions to things and decisions that get made based on those reactions. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Last week, the crew did a really amazing job of like hacking into this lawyer's office and changing a will, and creating fake identities and things like that, so that they could infiltrate this super high security bank to finish off um, a job that they were working on to get a pretty good payday at the end. Um, and at the end of the session last week, uh, they were just barely opening up the lid of this security box, and that's where we ended. And then I also asked the cast afterwards to do evens or odds on a roll, or not evens and odds. I think it was I had you all choose a number, um, and then I rolled a d20, and I didn't say what it was for. So we're gonna find out what that was for today too. It's gonna be really great. Before we jump into all the action, though, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and their characters, and then we'll get going. So starting with Jay, tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hi, everybody. It's Jay, or Alien Jays. I am a writer. I am a game developer, and I'm really tired. You can find me on Twitter and itch.io at Alien Jays. And today I'm playing Sparky, who is wired. If I'm the tired, Sparky is the wired. That's how I would describe them. They are the ship's mascot, I guess. Might be the best definer of them in the crew's makeup, and they are kind of a catch-all filler for a lot of the missions that they do, and they just have let's not say good ideas, but they have ideas, and they're very keen about them. So they're mostly excited that they didn't get caught right away, and they're hoping that that trend continues until they're out of the bank.
That's fair. And I'd say Sparky has mostly good ideas. Sometimes they need some refinement, but they're good ideas. They're solid premises.
I've got clay. I've got lots of clay and kinetic sand.
Yeah. Next we've got Vanessa, or V. Tell us a little bit about Annie and yourself.
I thought something wrong was happening. Vanessa, who's that?
That's why I said
hi.
V.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Vanessa, or V, and I am a traditional artist. I work primarily in watercolor and pencil sketch, as well as some digital art. And fun fact, I downloaded brushes on Paint Tool Side today for the first time in the 10 years that I've been using the program. So that's pretty cool. You can also check out my work as well on my art Twitter, which is at Peppero Draws. That's Pepper like the candy. And I finally just uploaded those OC pictures that I was talking about. So you can see those there. Those were from the OC art exchange that we did. There's 4 of them up. And they're looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. So go check those out.
So good.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud with how that batch came out for sure. But yeah, check those out. As for me, I play Annie. She is kind of the one of the tech girls of the ship. Her and Daisy kind of go hand in hand with that regard. I always like to joke that before everybody lost their memories, she was kind of like a space Anonymous, where she would hack into larger corporations and steal the information, and sort of like in a Robin Hood-esque, instead of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, she would steal from the larger corporations and sell to the smaller ones. Because, she could stand to gain a little bit of money from that herself. She's not going to do this shit for free. But that's probably how she landed on Daisy's shit list, I'm sure. But yeah, she's kind of the tall Lil Mouse of the group, as she was so fondly named at the beginning of season 1. Despite being the tallest of the group. So yeah, that's Annie.
Awesome. Next we've got Alex. Tell us a little bit about Seattle and yourself.
Yo, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can find me around at CanChaosArt on Twitter. I play Seattle, who is the ship's engineer, also the oldest person on this ship currently. He's everybody's gay dad. Literally in one case for Daisy,
Yeah.
but he's mute, trans, and generally is pretty easy to get along with.
Yeah. Until he starts bringing out corpse cannons, and then it's, it
He
depends
has
on the person.
some weird foibles.
Oh God. I just realized you still have the scalpel cannon somewhere on the ship.
Yep,
Yeah, we never got rid of it.
Seattle kept that.
Oh, I did not need to remember that. Anyways, next we've got Lisa. Tell us a little bit about Captain and yourself.
So I play Captain. Captain is an android and the head of the ship. She's also a Black Ops murder droid, but she's still trying to figure out what that means while also trying to figure out these really weird humans that she's with and trying to figure out what they're all about, and not necessarily trying to be one of them, but trying to at least figure out how to live with them. And yeah.
Awesome. And that just leaves me. And before I forget, also, quick reminder that Captain has an advantage still from last time. And thank you again to Alex, who redeemed 10,000 guild coins to give an advantage to Annie. Currently, the cast has 6d6, 0 crits. I have 3d6 available and 2 crits.
AKA
that's worth...
who I think is actually going to get us out of here alive.
We will see. So for me, I am Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is a whole ton of different things, mostly involving tabletop. There's my link tree in chat that you can check out for all that stuff. And then I play Daisy Thornwood. It's a particularly important NPC. Also was sort of the big bad of the first season. A lot's changed since then. Anyways, so I play Daisy quite a bit, and then also everybody else in the universe, including Liam and Seth, the other 2 NPCs on the ship. I think that's everyone that you've all adopted so far. Yeah, when we left off last week, as I mentioned, there was a bank heist that the crew's been working on. I know it was Seth and Captain and Sparky, I believe, that were inside the bank. Sparky had been left outside the vault. The bank manager would only let Seth and Captain go in, being posing as the person inheriting this box and his caretaker. And when we left off, I think it was Seth that was going to open the box. So Seth lifts open the lid, and inside is just a small, little unassuming memory stick. Like a thumb drive.
Literal thumb.
It's a thumb with a computer chip inside of it. No. It's just like a USB drive type thing. So Seth grabs it and kind of looks at that, and then looks at Captain and goes, huh. Kind of expected this to be something more dramatic.
The information on here could be extremely traumatic.
That's fair. Suppose we should get this to Annie.
Would you prefer to carry it, or shall I?
I'll hold on to it. It should be fine. And he just sticks it into like For some reason, I think his shirt has a little pocket that has a button on it, so he sticks it into the shirt pocket and buttons it. Yeah, that's all that was in the box. Is there anything else you want to do in the vault, or are you wanting to get out of there?
Is there a way I can check to see if, like, maybe the box is like a false bottom or something?
Absolutely. You can do a sight roll if you would like.
Because, like, I don't know if banks do that, but
There's nothing to say that the whoever
Banks
put it there.
don't, but people are more than happy to put whatever they want inside the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
can I add my Android onto that?
Sure. What's that total?
20.
20? Yeah, there's not. You give it a good once over, and you are certain that there's nothing else in the box. All right. Anything else that you want to do in the vault?
Not that I can think of.
All right. In that case, we will move our camera over to where Sparky is. And just sort of repainting a word picture of the layout of the bank. So you are towards the back of the main room where the customers come in, just outside of a hallway that leads into the vault. You're still on the, I believe the, Jay. Sorry, I just read something in chat. You're, I think on the other side of the security scanner, so the haven't gone through side, if I remember right.
That's right, because I was loaded to the gills with not weapons.
Yeah. So that's where you are. There's a few people in the main room, probably about 4 or 5 customers, 3 tellers, the host that you met at the door, the bank manager is on the opposite side of the security scanner, so very near you. And there's probably 1 or 2 other employees inside the building. And the main room has like a little desk in the middle where you can fill out paperwork and things like that. Sort of an L-shaped counter with room for about 8 different teller booths on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side of the room, as you're facing the back, there's a couple of alcoves with desks, more like cubicles, but they're really fancy, nice cubicles. And then on either side of the main doors, there is singular offices. So there's 1 office on the left side, 1 office on the right side, with glass walls and doors. So it's basically just like a glass box with a desk in it. So that's the layout. I mention all of this because you're going to want to know it, because what happens next, Sparky, you're the first person to hear this. There is a group of armed people that come bursting into the main room.
Oh, that's exactly what I was worried about.
Yep.
God damn it.
Son of a bitch, set us up.
There are, there's about, let's go with 7 armed thugs
Cool.
that bust into the room with SMGs and presumably other armaments on their tac vests. They look like SWAT members. No insignias or anything like that, but they're in full like black outfits with the black tactical vest and everything. They look like they are professionals.
One of them has a hoagie machine gun. The other guys have submachine guns.
I see what you did
I'm
there.
sorry, I'm so tired.
It's okay.
So you said 7 of them?
Yeah, 7 of them burst in, and yeah, they do the cliche of shooting a couple rounds into the ceiling. The customers freak out. They hit the ground. The tellers are ducked down behind their desks and everything. What does Sparky do?
I think Sparky doesn't need to act as much as one might think. They're already on a state of high alert, so the gunshot going off and the yelling, etc., gets them to assume the position of put your hands on your head and kiss your ass goodbye. But they do, as they're going down, they're gonna slide one of the noisemakers out of their pocket and just like palm it as they do the
Okay.
just kind
Can I
of
get a blend in roll for that?
100%.
And you
That's
can
not
do
gonna
that
go
with
super
advantage because
Okay,
they're not near you yet.
cool. And the second one.
Okay. Take that
That's,
25.
25. I'll take that.
Yeah. It's doable.
Okay.
They're just barely in the door. You have the foresight to do that, and they're not paying attention to you yet, so you're able to palm that noisemaker.
Okay. Question. This is more for the cast. Did we test our comms to see if they work inside the bank?
I don't think you did.
I'm going to assume that's a
not.
no. So Sparky is just going to do like a click twice on the thumb, just
Okay.
to see if anything's working, and then is going to type out just a really quick SOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does work. It goes to everyone except for Captain and Seth.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Shielded vault makes sense.
Yeah.
So Seattle's waiting outside in the shuttle
Yeah. What does Seattle see?
with Annie, I think, right?
I think everyone came. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Liam that got left behind? I think Liam was on the ship still.
Liam and the doctor,
Yeah, that's right.
and I think Daisy's on the ship too.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, this could only end well.
Yeah. Seattle and Annie might have seen like an odd-looking group of people coming in, but they had like big coats and stuff to hide, and they moved pretty quick.
Looks to Annie, like right before the SOS comes in, and just like signs out, what are the odds of a bank robbery going on in the middle of our bank heist?
Annie signs back, given our history, pretty fucking good.
And then the SOS comes in.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This is what the dice roll was for, by the way. I wanted to
Yeah.
see if this encounter would actually happen or not.
Who got the lucky number, Raven?
Nobody, that's why it's happening.
Oh, good. Yay. Okay, that's valid.
I was like, we'll just do a little lottery. If one of you guesses the number it hits on, then it won't happen, and you get
Of
an
course
easier
it
time
won't.
of it.
We can't roll for shit. Okay, so are the people like coming into the bank? Are they corralling people? What's the situation
Yeah.
inside?
All 7 of them are in the bank, and they are quickly securing the room. There are 2 people rounding up the employees and the customers,
Mhm.
and sort of getting them in a corner. There are so let's see, there's 7 people, so there's 2 doing that. One is securing the front door, one is securing the bank manager,
Mhm.
so, and then there's 3 more sweeping the building. So they're
Okay.
going along the edges, taking out cameras, and just wow, words.
That's all good.
Where did my brain go? Making sure there's no surprises or anything like that.
Right. Checking corners. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting like payday vibes out of it.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. How many customers are in here with us? Like how many civilians, I guess?
There was like 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Okay. Yeah, I think
They're
Sparky will
all-
do a second SOS once they're like corralled with the rest of them.
Okay. Yeah, the 3 doing perimeter eventually come across you, and the bank manager, and they sort of
Mhm.
send him over to the guy that was looking for the bank manager.
Cool.
You get sort of huddled up in the corner of
Mhm.
so how the L-shaped counter, you're like in the corner
Okay.
of that as a group.
Okay.
And then there's a alarm that goes off as they go through the security scanner because they're walking through with a bunch of guns and stuff.
Right.
Which Captain would allow you and Seth to hear that. So you see an alarm go off and lights and sounds and things. What do you do?
Check the comms to see if there's anything, but of course.
Yeah, there isn't.
Now, we were escorted to the room, correct?
Yeah, the manager let you into the vault, opened up or unlocked the box, and then left.
They didn't wait outside?
Yeah, basically, that's the guys that just did the perimeter just grabbed him and took him to the front.
We were like on the other side of the security checkpoint from the safe deposit boxes, I think.
Yeah, there's like a hallway that goes to the vault, and
Okay.
he wasn't like just right outside the door. He was down the hall
Okay.
a little bit.
But I can see that there's some security shit going down.
Yeah. The vault is pretty well insulated and shielded and everything, so you probably haven't heard like yelling or anything like that, but now you see the alarm going off.
Okay, Captain is gonna like put her arm out for Seth to wait.
Okay.
And can I like roll hearing to see if I can hear anything that's happening?
Absolutely.
$27.
Yeah, you hear footsteps of 3 people approaching. And that's about it, actually. There's not a whole lot of noise coming from down that hallway, and the men aren't speaking.
Okay.
With a 27, I'm going to also throw your android in there on that to bump you up a tier and say that you hear that they are wearing like combat boot type footwear. It's definitely not the sound of a bank employee approaching.
Okay. So I know that something threatening is approaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seth's spidey senses are tingling. He looks a little nervous too.
Is Seth armed?
No. But depending on what you do, he might be here shortly.
What?
Just waiting to see what you do, and then he's
I
going to
know exactly what you're going after.
Okay, Captain's going to move out of line of sight of the door and like grab the back of Seth's shirt and pull him out of line of sight of the door too.
Okay. So like okay, I'm with you now. I had to think about it for a second.
And she is going to extend her blades and wait quietly.
Okay. Yeah, that's the cue that Seth's waiting for. So Seth grabs I'm gonna say there's like a chair in there. Like a wooden chair. He's gonna grab it. And now he is somewhat armed.
I'll take it.
Alright, and then you're just waiting for them to basically come through the door.
Yeah, try it.
Okay.
Find out.
Look around and find out. Okay. Before we get into that scene, is there anything else happening in the parking lot or in the main room?
I imagine Seattle's probably trying to get more information from Sparky. Also, like, where the heck Captain and Seth are.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think Sparky is probably, because they're clearly, like, is there one person watching us at least?
Yeah, there's 2 people watching you. And
Okay, cool.
The bank employees have been pulled into your little huddle as well now.
Okay, so yeah, Sparky is kind of like hands in lap, like one hand over the other, and they're using that to cover the thumb pressing. And they're going to, I know SOS, but I don't know. I think Sparky probably knows enough to get like just basic wording across. It's probably not great. But they say the extent of 7 thugs or goons or something. No Cap or Seth. Help.
Seattle looks to Annie and just like, how violently are we gonna do this?
Does Seattle know Morse?
I think
I would have
discussed this in season 2.
Yeah,
I think Sparky and Seattle started teaching each other Morse code.
Yeah, they did. They started
Yeah.
coming up with like their own Morse codes.
Yeah, I was gonna say if not Morse code, I think you've all spent enough time together to develop some sort of code
Yeah,
for
fair
for
enough.
situations and
look
things.
at the
Annie-
fucking frog.
Yeah.
Annie also has linguist, so
Ooh,
I never picked extra languages, so besides sign language. So that's good.
Morse is good to know.
Yeah, there we go. We've used it multiple times now. I think it's a
True.
good idea.
Um,
So yeah, if that's cool with you, Raven, then I'll add that to the linguist. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah, totally fine.
Cool. In response to Seattle, she says, or she signs, no violence yet. If we go in there without figuring out what the situation is in detail, then we could end up making things worse.
Okay, and then Sparky, while that's happening, you can also see that the people behind the counter, the robbers, we'll call them,
mhm.
Are grabbing money out of like drawers and things like that. It's all the small, relatively small bills for a bank.
Okay.
They're grabbing those and stuffing them into a bag. They don't seem to be particularly careful about it. Like there's still some
Right, it's
bills
just like
that
a
fall on the
smash and
ground.
grab.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
How many are around Sparky right now?
there are 2 in front of you watching the group, and there are 1, 2, 5.
Should be 2 with the small bells and then 3 with Captain, because you said 7 total.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, and 1 holding the manager.
Okay. So Sparky will message to just anyone listening, like broad frequency among the group. Have Noisemaker. Basically, like, let me know the plan, and I'll throw that first, kind of thing. And they also message the EMP they have may be able to knock out the lights briefly.
Okay.
So just to get them apprised of what Sparky's arsenal is, which is minimal.
Annie
Okay.
would ask if there's anybody currently by the door.
Is there anyone currently by the door? Because at least the layout wise, I don't think anyone's close by any means.
The guy with the bank manager has him in one of those offices, the one to the
Okay.
left.
So like coming in
yes.
to the left.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then the 2 guys that are holding everybody hostage are also,
Close-ish.
within line of sight of the door. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Sparky would say that. Like 1 in the office to the left, 2 more on whatever side they're on, a bit further down.
Okay. And about that time is when the 3 that are doing perimeter walk into the vault. So, Captain, you've basically prepared an attack for this. What do you do?
not say anything at first and signal for Seth to stay quiet.
Okay. I mean, this is a bank vault, so as soon as they walk in, like,
They're
nothing...
gonna see us.
Yeah, there's really nothing for you to hide behind.
Okay, in that case, modulate my voice to
Okay.
sound downgraded. So
Okay.
more robotic, not very human-like. And say, I am designated to protect this human at all costs. Aggression will be made. Step aside.
Okay. Roll Daunt.
And you can add your androidness to this.
Yeah?
28.
Roll, get a d6, please.
I was gonna say, would you like to use a d6? You also
Yes.
have an advantage you can use.
Now we'll use a
Either way.
d6. Oh, let's see here.
Okay.
6. So 28 plus 6,
34.
34? Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna roll for Seth, who rolled quite well. So Seth is behind you, holding this chair, and he just starts making his hands and arms shake with the chair, and just puts this like frightened child face on,
Bless.
and it's very convincing. And so the three guys just sort of fan out around you, not like in a flanking way, but in a we're moving away from you and giving you an opening to the door kind of way. And the lead one just says, all right, look, we're not here for the kid, so just take your fancy swords there. You can go out into the main room. You can wait there for this situation to be over.
Captain directs Seth out and then like backs her way out of the vault.
All right. Yeah,
Kick
Seth's
the
just
door
like...
closed. Kick the door closed.
Captain closes the door.
Okay. Seth drops the chair as if frightened and follows you outside. And then I need a nimbleness check to close the door before they can do anything.
Let's see here. $19.
Do
You have advantage.
you want?
Don't forget.
Do you want to use your advantage?
Sure. So I just roll it again.
Yeah. Just re-roll it basically.
26.
Much better. Okay. Yeah, that was going to end up with bullets flying. So with the 26, yeah, you're able to use your android strength to just slam this vault door closed. You probably hear some muffled like what the fuck's coming from inside the vault. And like pounding on the door and everything, but it's too quiet. It's too insulated back here for anybody else to hear them.
Would Captain and Seth now be hearing the conversation going on in Morse code?
Yes.
Okay.
And now your comms are working because you are outside the vault.
Captain's gonna very quietly say to herself, putting her voice back to normal, how degrading.
How degrading. Oh, because of the voice modulation thing?
Yes.
Oh,
She had to pretend to be less than she is.
that's fair. Yeah, Seth just kind of nods. It's like, yeah, I appreciate that.
Thanks,
Annie
Sparky.
would send and ask for an update.
From
The
where
comms.
from where Sparky's sitting, is it like, are we kind of hidden behind the L desk, or are we like enough away that we could get a better view of the bank?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
From like where they've got us, can we see more of the bank, or are we like huddled against the desk?
So the teller counter, the little like angle of the L. You're sort of huddled in there with everybody's backs towards the counter.
Okay.
So yes, I guess is the short answer to that. Yeah, you're looking into the main room of the bank with two of those robbers sort of between you and the rest of the room, but they're not that wide. You can see around them.
Right. Can Sparky see Captain and Seth coming out?
No.
Okay.
Because that hallway's on the far right side, so there's no
Cool.
line of sight.
Cool. So yeah, Sparky would message back. No change. How far are these goons doing with the bagging of loose change?
They've got about half of it done. They're moving very quickly.
Okay. Yeah, Sparky would message like, goons are halfway. Maybe wait it out. No Cap or Seth still.
Annie responds, that's what I was going to suggest. If it doesn't seem like they're there for anything that conflicts with us, and if they're not specifically looking to bother you in particular,
Right.
The crew as a whole, then maybe the best course of action is just to stay put, let them do what they have to do, and then get out of here.
Cool. Yeah, and Sparky kind of gives like the effect of a thumbs up through SOS, like, yep.
Yeehaw.
Essentially, yeah. Like,
Frog.
Sparky doesn't really want to get into a fight because not only do they not have any guns, even if they had guns, they wouldn't want to get into a fight. So they're keen to wait, but they will keep looking around and trying to listen and hear for Seth and Cap.
Okay. At about this point, the power in the room kind of cuts out, and emergency lights come on. And the guy that was holding the bank manager in the office walks out, and you can see through the glass wall that the bank manager is securely zip tied to his chair.
Question. Are these doors manual or are they automatic?
They're manual doors.
Okay. Changes things. Okay. Where's the main one heading?
He starts heading towards the hallway where the vault is.
Okay. Sparky would immediately be like, lights out, head goons on the way to the boxes.
Captain has an icky feeling and asks, well, first, Seth, she's going to direct Seth to go find Sparky, like go sit by Sparky. And she's going to follow. But on the way, she's going to say, hand me the thumb drive.
Okay. Seth hands the drive to Captain.
Okay. How big is this thumb drive?
It's literally like a USB drive.
Okay, she's going to take
Thumb-sized.
it. Yeah, thank you. She's going to take it and put it within the mechanism of her arm.
Okay.
And then close her knives over it.
Okay, let's just do a blend in check. Just like an average difficulty, so 20 or better.
Nat 20.
It is invisible. It no longer exists to anyone but you.
Yay.
Okay. Yeah, Seth. Let me roll for Seth. Oh no.
God damn it, Seth.
Yeah, I can't let Seth be the reason
You
this
can.
goes really bad.
You could. Just playing devil's advocate here.
I don't want Seth to die because I just
Well,
rolled
that's
that
fair, I
one.
suppose. Oh,
So
Oh my
So I'm
god.
gonna-
okay, that's
So I'm
valid.
gonna
Would you like to use the advantage that we have?
No, I used one of the crits for Seth. So instead of utterly failing, Seth nails it. And
Sorry,
looks-
my whole Zoom just froze for like 10 seconds. What
Oh,
did
no.
you say?
Seth was. I rolled a nat 1 for Seth, but I'm using one of my crits for him.
Oh,
so
okay.
that instead of utterly failing and getting shot to death, he nails it. So yeah, he walks out with his hands up and looking very scared and innocent. And the lead guy basically just motions him to go join the rest of the group. Totally buys the scared kid act. And then starts walking down the hallway, where I'm assuming he sees you, Captain.
My eyes are
And-
turned on.
The red eye
Yeah.
thing. Oh, good.
It's the default.
Okay. So yeah, he lifts the gun up and points it at you and says, "What are you doing here?" Essentially, just yells at you like, "Stand
There's
down."
no need to shout. I am a nanny droid accompanying my young sir.
Okay. Let's do a speech check for that. See how convincing you are.
18.
It's good enough.
Yay.
Seth played the part of terrified child pretty well, so it makes it a little easier for you to convince him that you are what you say you are. And he just sort of gives you a wide berth, like backs against the wall, keeps the gun pointed at you, and directs you to go join your child.
My handbook boy.
Yeah. So yeah, now Seth is over by Sparky, and you're headed that way, I'm assuming. And the boss guy is getting to the vault door.
Sparky is giving Seth these eyes, like doing the whole conversation just with their face, basically. Like,
Jade, that's you and I's talent. I don't
Yeah,
know if Seth
like,
has that
yeah, no,
ability.
it's gonna be a little difficult. He'll be like, what's up with your face?" Like,
Seth just looks at you and just gives you a look of like, I don't know what to do.
Sparky will like pat the ground next to them, and then just like quickly over the thumb. We got Seth is on the comms.
Yeah, Seth's going.
Sparky would just do like a quick kind of vocal thing, like, "Sit the fuck down and don't talk." just
Yeah, Seth does that. It's like, yeah, that was what I was planning on doing.
And Sparky will quickly SOS the guys outside, like, "Got Seth, don't know where Cap is," and then ask Seth, like, where's Cap?
Yeah, so Captain, you're headed towards the main room. You know that the lead guy is going towards the vault, which he's gonna know was closed on his guys.
Oh.
So
Was the vault door automatic or was it manual?
I think it probably has like both. Like it's probably automatic, but has like a manual option.
Okay.
So they could have just been idiots and gotten themselves closed in on the vault.
Uh-huh.
Possible, but unlikely.
That
so
sounds
I'm
like a
asking.
them problem.
I mean, you're welcome to try to convince them of that, as they, you know,
Should
when
have
they
put a
come out with their
doorstop in there.
guns.
You know, it's a heavy door. Put a doorstop in. Oh boy.
So, you do have a limited amount of time before those guys are out of the vault. What do you want to do?
Literally, I'm going to go sit down by Seth and Sparky.
Okay.
Because if I'm going to be a nanny droid, what the hell else am I going to do?
Yeah, that's valid.
Okay. We're committing to that.
Sparky will, because I'm assuming Cap has like some knowledge of Morse code, like with some Android like databank she can just like reference.
Oh yeah.
So Sparky would SOS like, "Cap's here too. and then, check in with Cap over Morse code, like, everything okay? Get the thing?
Thing is obtained. I'm an anti-droid, play along.
So yeah, Sparky will just kind of like nod to Captain kind of distantly, and then make sure that the client is okay.
Okay. Everybody else around you seems to either not pay attention to you or buy the whole act.
Cool.
Very short time later, there is the sound of squeaking metal as the vault door is pulled open, and you hear some yelling in the back. Could I get a hearing check from anybody inside the bank?
It's like my best skill, 37.
Okay.
When you're paranoid, you have to hear everything.
Yeah, Sparky's...
So if I put Android on at 23?
Yeah, it's still not enough because it's really far back there. So Sparky, you're able to hear it, and you just hear the lead guy yelling, "What do you mean it's not here?"
Sparky's having a real hard time maintaining composure because they know the jig is so up it's in suborbit. So they're definitely like frantically clicking the thumb like, we are so bought. What do we do? What do we do? Should I throw the thing?
You probably also hear a clatter of a sturdy metal safety deposit box being chucked outside of the vault into the wall.
So Sparky's trying desperately not to look at Captain, but is definitely sending a flood of messages through the thumbcomm, like, can we get some, like, what are we doing? Never try to Morse code under pressure. It's terrifying.
From Annie, you would get like a, if you could imagine Annie being very firm, like, calm down, don't do anything yet. Like, this is a really precarious situation. Like, you have to be sure that that's the right thing to do at the moment. Like, don't jump the gun.
Okay. I just imagine a lot of full stops in there.
Yeah.
Captain just sends out something that says the thing is inaccessible.
Sparky's just going to send back a few question marks at that. Like,
Okay.
what are the goons doing? Do the two watching us do anything?
They're looking at each other a little bit nervously.
Okay.
Like a oh crap, the boss is mad kind of nervous.
Right.
But they're just...
Do you figure they're going to be smart enough to check the computer to see whose name would be attached to the
power's
deposit
out.
Box? Oh,
Power is out.
And if it comes back on, I've got just the fix.
So yeah, they're coming back out of the hallway looking big mad.
Not small, not medium. Supersize that shit.
Yeah, the lead guy starts walking towards Seth and Captain. Basically sticks a gun in both of your faces and just says, you were just in the vault. Did you empty out what was in box?
Do you want me to pull up the number?
26814Z. I actually have notes from this time.
Hey.
And Seth looks to Sparky and Captain like, the fuck do I say?
I have an idea for a lie, but I don't know if we would be able to pull it off.
You can quickly SOS it to me.
do it, Lisa. Do it.
Yeah.
You gotta embrace it.
Captain will speak up and simply say in the lower modulated voice again, "We attempted to access such box. We found it emptied already."
Okay.
Sparky's
Okay.
gonna look surprised at this. And they're not really sure if it's a ploy or if there actually was no thing in the thing, and if Captain was lying. They're just as lost as these guys are.
Yeah, I will need a speech roll for that to come off as convincing, or charm if you want to go that route.
Could I aid in that by acting like flustered and frustrated about that? Because clearly this is my ass on the line if there's nothing in the
Yeah.
box, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And yep, Seth rolled well. Seth starts crying.
Oh God. This poor boy, 36.
Okay. Was the 17 for the speech for Captain? I think you're muted there, Lisa.
Can I add Android to it?
It won't really help, but you have an advantage that was given for technically for the first roll of combat.
Technically,
But
it's the first round of combat. But
And you have a D6. You can use a D6.
yeah,
I'll try a D6.
you know,
I would go.
go
with the advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, advantage then.
Yep. There you go.
That's,
Oh, no,
I know. I
that's
did the
Jay's
same
roll.
thing. I did the exact same. I was like, the colors right and everything.
There we go. Okay. 29. Now I would use a d6.
Oh my god.
Even with Seth and I helping.
Yeah.
Get a 6. Get a 6.
2.
Ooh. It's not.
31.
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah.
I think there's a gun in someone's face. This is officially coming. Yeah. Okay. They buy it for now. They're very mad. And the three guys just sort of keep watching all the hostages. So now there's 5 guys watching all the hostages. And the lead guy goes into the room with the bank manager, and you hear muffled yelling. Yeah, he's definitely trying to get information out of the manager that the manager doesn't have.
Sparky is doing their best to concisely explain the situation to Seth and or not Seth, Seattle and Annie. The sum is everything has gone fucked. Now there's 5 around us,
Um,
and they'll question again, like, let me know when to throw this thing.
Also for Seattle and Annie, I'm not even going to make you roll for this. You just get the gut feeling success. Given your experience, you're noting there is no GPF to be seen, which is unusual.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. For now.
Is
Here's-
it a gift though?
Here's my posit that it is a gift. If we neutralize them, then we rob the bank. And then we don't have to
Jay.
worry about the cops. Listen, it's a foolproof plan.
Thank you so much for saving us. You're welcome. Now give me all your money.
Yeah, you're welcome. Here's the reward.
Okay. Just throwing that out there. So lead guy is busy with the bank manager for a little while. The other 6 guys now are all just either guarding the front door or windows or guarding all of you. It's only a matter of time before the situation in the office gets real bad. And that option doesn't work because manager doesn't know what to tell him, and you know that he doesn't. How do you want to do this?
Okay. Do any of these thugs have do they look like they're wearing earpieces? Do they look like they're wearing any kind of communications tech on them?
Yes, they are. They are wearing radios with earpieces.
Cool.
And they've got like
Okay.
the cool little like throat mic things too.
Right. Okay. Just doing a little math.
I love that thinking face.
My mom used to give me shit about it. Just, don't stick your tongue out. I'm like, this is my thinking face.
No, it's adorable.
So Sparky's gonna again detail like, you know, we're so far up the creek, we're on dry land in a boat. And they're gonna say I could EMP to fry their comms, then noisemaker, then we question mark profit.
But if we are the only ones to move, that makes us suspicious. We would have to find a way to make everybody move.
I mean, the noisemaker would do it. It's really loud.
Trying to think if I have an idea, but I'm trying to think if Seth would have this idea to tell you.
Of course, yeah. Sparky would be bugging Seattle and Annie for, you know, what are you guys doing? How's the car? Basically.
Just first person that answers, evens or odds.
Evens.
Thank you, because I was going to say odds.
Seth doesn't have this idea, sorry. I can't share it with you.
Bollocks.
I rolled an 11.
Ah. So yes, Sparky is trying to get a checkup from Seattle and Annie to see what they think.
I'm terribly sorry. I'm probably going to have to check out a game early tonight because I'm finding I'm actually too tired to be able to play Seattle right now. I'm
That's
very,
totally
very
fair.
sorry.
That's totally fair,
I'm
friend.
just figuring it out now as I've been like listening to all this and really enjoying
I
it.
wondered, yeah.
And what do you want to do? Oh, I want to sleep.
Yeah. See, I was like, can I go
No
back? Can I
worries
go
at
take
all.
a nap real quick? That's
Oh,
totally fair, friend.
sorry. I'm real sorry about this. I feel
It's all
like
good.
shit.
Oh, don't.
You
no
take
need
care
to
of yourself.
apologize. Yeah. No worries at all. I'm gonna I'll join with my phone for the Zoom, and that way it won't throw off the
I will wait until your phone's on Zoom. I'm really sorry to do this. I was trying to make it to break, and I am
It happens.
no apologies necessary.
not making it to break.
It's all good.
I won't have Annie set off any bombs or anything while you're not here.
No,
Fine.
dude.
It's gone. Like,
Please
do you
set up
mind,
bigger bombs.
Do you mind if I if I control Seattle for this scene?
Please do. I was gonna ask if you would be able to take over Seattle for me for the
you,
scene.
you know
because
it's bad when.
I think I know good enough, or Seattle well enough to know what Seattle would do in these situations.
So you haul up to the front door and knock on the
I've
glass
talked
with a
enough
scalpel
about
cannon.
Seattle's background at you. You know the weird sort of ticks.
Yeah. And incidentally, I think Seattle would have the idea that I have, so now I can share it with you.
Oh no.
Perfect, because I feel like absolute shit because I have no ideas. I'm so sorry.
That's totally
It's
fine.
okay.
All right,
No
I'm gonna go
worries
and
at
lay
all.
down and listen to y'all.
Much
All
love, friend.
right. Get some
Be
good
well.
rest.
Bye.
I really hope it's ramming the shuttle into the bank.
It is.
Okay. Wow. Because I was thinking, I'm like, what would Seattle? Oh no, he would totally ram the bank. He would 100% just run it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
Oh
Let me
boy.
figure this out.
Alex just said they had that idea too.
Fantastic. There we go. Now
Oh,
everybody's in the right
brainwaves,
spot.
kids. We're all sharing one brain cell.
It's true. Oh goodness. So yeah, I think Seattle's gonna throw that idea out there.
You ever seen The Martian? And in the last
Okay.
scene, this isn't spoilers, but there's a last scene where they cut communications with NASA, and the captain of the mission goes, "Maybe it's not the worst idea." That's what's running through Sparky's head right now. Like,
Yeah, Seth's like doing the Morse code thing, going like, I can't think of a reason why not.
Sparky, you'll ask Captain Annie.
Do we know if they have other ships?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good question. How did they get here?
Yeah, there wasn't really a ship that you saw drive up.
Is your mom coming to pick them up? Just
Probably.
swing by in the soccer van?
Yeah, the assumption in that instance would probably be that there's something in orbit or a getaway car very close by that's going to swoop in.
Because we're on a moon, aren't we? We're on like a planetoid of some kind, yeah.
Yeah, it's a habitable moon.
Right. Oh. Annie, thoughts? This is kind of like Sparky just kind of wants unanimous on this so that they don't overstep anyone's bounds.
For the ramming the shuttle,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just as good as any other idea. Sure.
I love that we're like, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but on the scale of our ideas,
It's better than the other idea, which is I don't know.
it's better than the other idea, which is only throwing a noisemaker and hoping to catch 6 armed thugs off guard.
Or letting the bank manager die and just
Also
hope
that.
they leave after that.
Yeah, also that. Also, we could probably use that money. I'm just saying.
I would say let him ram the bank.
Okay, here we go.
Let's grab Seattle's character sheet here.
I think Sparky would ask Seattle for the countdown so that once the shuttle comes through, then Sparky can blow the noisemaker and all.
Yeah.
Just really go all out on this plan. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, so Seattle just sort of backs the car out, the shuttle, so that you're gonna like back into the door, and gives you like a 3 count, so you know exactly when the door is about to break, and does decently well at this. So yeah, just floors it, backs the shuttle into the doorway. It breaks a lot of the door, obviously, some of the front wall. That office that the bank manager's in just kind of not like collapses to where it would like kill somebody in there, but it's definitely not like a standing room anymore. It's the bank manager.
More open concept.
Yeah, gets knocked over in the chair. It knocks the bad guy over as well. There's glass everywhere. The people guarding the hostages are now turning their guns towards the shuttle.
And then Sparky yells, "Oh, Captain, my captain," and looks at Seth. And then pops one of the noisemakers, does their earplugs, and hopes Seth does the same, and then kind of head level at the group.
Okay. Yeah, Seth does that too. He's
Cool.
He's prepared. Yeah, this thing goes off. We basically said it was like a flashbang, right? Kind of.
Essentially,
without the
yeah.
flash.
It's loud enough that it's just like, and it'll, anyone without earplugs is not having a great day.
Okay. I'm going to make this super effective because I imagine as soon as something like that happens, people are getting on their radios to talk,
Yep.
and so that noise is going over the radios as well.
Oh, feedback city.
Yeah, so all of them are ripping, earpieces out of their ear and sort of collapsing, because I'm assuming you wanted one of those that's like, it's loud enough that it's literally disorients
It's
you.
exactly not one that's like, oh, ow. It's one of those that like actually screws up the inner ear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence the earplugs.
Unfortunately for everybody in the
Yep.
bank, they're also experiencing this. But the bad guys are experiencing it even worse.
Cool.
Because they had their radios on. So that
Did
that
any
gives
of
you
them
a-
have like zip ties on them?
Oh yeah, they all do. They're probably going to be stunned for a couple of rounds, so about 20, maybe 30 seconds.
Okay. I think Sparky will jump too and start trying to zip tie people.
Okay.
Do we really want to zip tie them, or do we want to just GTFO?
I don't really want them shooting at me afterwards. We kind of don't want them to chase us right away. This is Sparky's probably like muttering this to Captain.
I will put it this way too,
Yeah.
to give you some clear-cut options here. You can zip tie them and grab the money, or you can go. Basically, if you don't zip tie them, you're not going to have time to get the money and get out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even need the money. I'm just worried about them chasing us right away.
Yeah, but I mean, also it's a big bag of money.
Yeah, I mean, Sparky's been eyeing it. They were watching them pretty close. We needed money. What's a little bonus?
Captain's gonna just be shoving the poor tearful Seth
Oh, Seth
out
stopped
the door.
crying.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It was all
Like-
an act. It was
Yeah,
just,
well, good.
Just trying to get his unarmed self away from everything and
That's
onto the
valid.
shuttle.
That's valid.
Especially since
Seth grabs
I'm the
one
one
of their,
carrying the thing.
Seth grabs one of their SMGs and
Good.
starts
Thank you.
tactically backing away with you.
Cool. Sparky is kicking guns away as they're tying people up too.
Okay.
So like trying to give it a little bit of distance between them, just in case one gets smarmy.
I do have 2 last little hurdles to hop over.
Oh, good.
I need 2 nimbleness rolls from Sparky to make sure that you can grab these zip ties and do all of this in the time allotted.
I don't have a terrible roll for that. I mean, that's not great though.
If you
18 and a
would-
26.
Okay. If you would like, you can say, "Hey Seth, help me," before Seth leaves.
I think, yeah, Sparky would ask Seth to, at least a couple of them.
Okay. Then with let me just make sure Seth doesn't.
Doesn't
Okay.
cock it up.
He does not. He does
Okay,
great.
cool.
Yeah, you get them all zip tied.
Okay, cool. We're the weirdest criminals.
You really are.
No, we are criminaling here. You don't get to criminal here.
We were here first. We had dibs.
So yeah, you zip tie them all. You can grab any SMGs that you want on the way out. Seth
I
grabbed
mean,
one.
may as well. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Sparky, since everyone on the ground is still kind of like a little disoriented, Sparky's just gonna whip and grab an SMG and then kind of keep an eye on the manager's office as they're going towards the shuttle, just in case Head McGee got feisty.
Yeah, no, he's still like rolling on the ground. Would be holding his ears, but he can't because he's zip tied.
Whoops.
So yeah, you're able to get away with the money and the thumb drive.
I'm waiting
There's-
for the butt.
Nope. I was just saying, there's about 100,000 in the bag,
Oh, yeah.
and you've got the thumb drive. So when you turn that in, that was worth 200,000. So
I mean, 50% bonus.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're able to leave and redock with the ship, and you
And
probably
get the
notice
fuck
there's
outta there.
still not any GPF presence here.
Sounds like a them problem.
Yep. Guess no one's coming. We should probably get the fuck out of here, though.
Yep. I presume you want to leave the system as quickly as possible.
Yes.
All
I
right.
thought we'd go for a resort, little vacay off the side. I know a great donut place.
Use our real IDs while we're at it. Yeah, it'll be fine.
cool.
And pay any fines we get.
Yeah, totally.
Sign a couple of confessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Pay our taxes.
Oh, Vanessa, you know what we need to start doing? We need to start tagging the places that we rob.
With anarchy.
Yeah. I was just thinking, I'm like, I wish we'd done that. Or like a little
That's
hollow
great.
emitter or something.
With the amount of anxiety that Sparky experiences on any day, you want to leave a calling card?
I mean, people
think
know
that's,
us.
Trying to remember. I think that's one of the challenges that made it into the book. Is something very
Mhm,
similar
it is.
to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Credit taker.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh. So tempting.
Don't give them ideas.
Sparky wouldn't be for that. No, that's a different character entirely.
All right. Well, yeah, you're out of the system. You make the jump to FTL. You get out of there. You're not being followed or anything like that. You got away clean.
Doesn't feel right.
I know, right?
No, it doesn't feel right at all. Is this what
Well-
success feels like? It's awkward.
We kept asking what's in the box, and technically it was a smaller box with something else in it. So what's on the thumb drive?
Then I put that box inside of another box.
Captain would approach Annie and, like, without really even saying anything, just like open up her arm and like dump out the thumb drive and say, be sure there's no fail safes to delete anything if you try to access this, and access what's on it.
Sweet.
If you, I assume you're wanting to plug it into a tablet or something and try to access it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. As soon as you pull it up, there is a password that is required. But it doesn't seem like one of those, like, if you enter this in, 3 times incorrectly, that it's going to delete everything. Just going to give it to you without a roll. There's no type of, like, deletion failsafe on this.
Please check your 2-factor authentication.
Yeah, no viruses or anything like that. It's strictly just a password.
Wow, for once there's nothing attached to it. We don't have to worry about viruses.
I figured the armed robbers was enough of a challenge for this little bit.
It's a bomb.
How
Don't plug it
generous.
in. It's a bomb.
It's not a virus because it's actually an explosive.
Can I use...
Michael coming in there for now. I mean, you're not wrong, Michael.
Can I use the hacking program on my holocard to bypass the password?
You can. I will tell you this, like, this is probably something that you could guess also. Like,
Raven, I can't guess for shit. What do you mean you could guess? I don't know.
Remember
Starfish.
who's
Password 1234.
Remember who it's attached
No.
to person-wise.
it is information that you currently have. You just need to figure out what part of that information is the password.
Ma'am, I forget all information as soon as the session ends.
Well, it's
My
a good
brain
thing I
is
wrote everything
empty.
down.
You can just run the holo card too, and then I'll tell you what it is if it succeeds. But yeah, it is information that you currently have.
You know what my notes say? The fake names that y'all took to get into the bank. That's the extent of my notes. Got any ideas, Jay?
I'm just looking over the notes and they're rather sparse. My only guess is the wife. Because he did have a wife, correct?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Well,
the
good
box
old,
number.
Could be the box number too. I've got that. It's 26814Z.
I have that as well.
Okay. Do you try that?
Yeah, let's try that first, I guess.
It unlocks.
For fuck's sake. Every single time you ask for things, I'm like, okay, work my brain. Let's see, dig in deep. What do I have written down that could possibly... It's fucking 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I hate it here. I hate it here. All right, what's on the frickin' thing then?
All right, so I was laughing because Sparrow guessed it in chat while you were looking at your notes. What you find on the thing. You find out why John Tilton was particularly wealthy. It's because this is dirt on a lot of executives from a few different corporations.
am I right in assuming that that tickles the very specific area at the back of Annie's brain?
Oh, I'm sure it probably does. Would you like to make a discipline roll?
What happens if I fail it?
Nothing.
Sure, let's try.
I mean, if you roll a nat 1, you might get a headache. That's it.
I have an absolute shit discipline, so let's see. Boom. Oh, 24.
You suddenly have like a flashback, seeing yourself sitting in front of a computer with like an earpiece in, talking to someone, and hacking in, getting some information off of an executive, and then basically just being responsible for like ending their career, essentially. And there is a certain frog emoji that is attached to that memory.
Annie is going to, if possible, make a copy of all the information that is present on this thumb drive to her own tablet.
Okay. Could I get a tech engineering roll?
Just as long as I don't roll on that one, this should be okay. I rolled a 3, but it's still a 27.
You've got some bonuses to computer stuff, right?
Aside from my holo card, it's just the information brokering.
You could use either for this particular thing.
Oh, sweet. If you're gonna let me choose, then yeah. It's a 37.
Okay. Then you're able to copy the information without it looking like it's been copied.
Okay, sweet.
So as far as anybody else knows that gets this later, nothing's been done to it. It's not even been accessed.
I mean, worst case scenario, she could just sit there, look, and write it in a notebook.
The Clippy
Fair.
shows up like, I've noticed you're copying this down in an analog format.
No, all jokes aside, that's great. Props to Annie for being smart. Yeah. So she downloads that copy to her own tablet and then brings just the thumb drive back to Captain. Well, no, she brings the tablet with her. Show Captain what's on it, but not tell her that there's a copied file on her own tablet. Just shows her what's there.
Okay, of course. All right.
That information will be useful. She just takes the thumb drive to go contact
Poland.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for drop off
Okay.
and payment.
Question for you, Raven, real quick. Did we ever stop at Ganymede to pick up that stuff, or were we on the way after this job?
I think you were gonna go there after this job.
Okay, just I couldn't remember which one we did first.
Yeah. Yeah, Tolan gives you the confirmation, a place to drop it off. It's basically like a dead drop. And I'm assuming you go there to drop it off,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Just double checking. So you go there, you drop it off. The money is there at the dead drop as well. And yeah, your job is done. So now you are 300,000 credits richer, and you have some very intriguing, useful information that somebody was clearly trying to get before somebody else did. How are we professionals?
You fuck up enough times, you learn how to not fuck up as much.
Sometimes.
It's just sometimes, occasionally.
Yeah, you not about to jump over, getting the job done. Yeah.
That's very true. And none of us died. Nobody got shot. And also, it was way less complicated than the museum heist. This was literally just a go and get the thing and then somehow get out.
And honestly, 90% of that is because you did all that prep really intelligently and really successfully.
Also, it was a thumb drive.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't a skin lamp.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a bit awkward.
We weren't carting anything big out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I presume then that you want to go pick up your Mom Sato
Mhm.
servers and
Yeah.
And uniforms.
uniforms.
Yep.
Yep, you're able to do that next. No problem. Zevi is there to meet you.
Cool.
Uh,
Concerning.
yep.
You know what? I think Seth and Liam can handle it.
Don't feed the children to the psychopath. Come on.
But I don't want to get fed to the psychopath.
Then Captain will go.
Sparky will come out because they're the one that like contacted Zevi.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be on the other end of that, Sparky, if you feed the children, specifically Annie's children, to the psychopath?
It's for a good cause.
Personally, I don't think that's a good idea, but you know what? You do you, boo, I guess.
I'm pretty
Listen,
sure
the
if you asked Liam, he'd be like, "Is this the one that was laughing while she was like slaughtering people?" Yeah, no, I'll be in my room.
Listen, the children eat the grass, the psychopaths eat the children. It's a circle of life. It's, I just don't want to be a part of the circle. So I'm very sleep deprived. So Sparky is going to put on a different outfit than they would normally, but something a little more like business professional than like Sparky professional.
Okay.
And probably looks a lot like the lawyer outfit.
I was gonna say, just
honestly.
repurposing the lawyer outfit.
Yeah,
sounds
yeah, basically,
like
yeah.
work.
And like stripping off the ridiculous outfit underneath.
Yeah.
Forgot they were wearing that. So yeah, they'll go out and see whoever's coming with.
Captain will go with.
Okay.
Okay.
Is Ganymede's atmosphere breathable, or do we need suits?
I can't remember. Regardless, I'm gonna say that you're like in a. If it's not, then you're in a port where it is,
Okay, cool.
like a meeting spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, Zevi's there with a really big dude next to her, and she's kind of short, so she looks extra tiny next to this giant of a man, and she's like holding this server box over her shoulder like one would a coat. And she's just tapping her foot, looking very impatient. And she's wearing like tight leather pants and a crop top, and has like, oh no, I broke the little clip on my pen.
Oh no.
And she's got like 4 different pistols on, like one on each thigh, and then like the over the shoulder holsters too. And you probably don't see it initially, but whenever she turns around, she's got like a big combat knife in a sheath like behind her back. And she just looks very, very impatient. So when you finally show up and walk down, she's like, "Ugh, finally! What took you so long?"
I'm so sorry, Zevi. I'm so sorry. Business, takes you all over the verse. Just had a little dealing, so apologies for the delay.
Yeah, well, normally I keep the meter running, but since you're paying so well, and that job was really fun, I got to commit arson. We'll let it slide this time.
I'll be prompt for the next one, not a worry. Next time we do have a job that is, as you say, fun, we'll be sure to contact you.
All right, sounds good. Here's your crap. And she just like drops it on the ground.
Yeah.
Captain just picks it up with like one arm and walks away.
And yeah, And then Zevy's just like, all right, there's your crap. Where's our money?
And Sparky will pull out a tablet and wire the money because we paid them half first, right?
Yeah,
I believe that
I
and then
believe so.
this is the other half that we're paying them.
Yeah.
Which if memory serves, was it 65 grand we were paying them total? I
right.
feel like it was around the 60s.
It was initially it was going to be 50 grand, and we
Yes.
bumped it up to 65 grand for them to just like do it without asking any questions.
Yes,
Like,
that's right.
this is going to be weird, but can you go do this? Like, can you betray this contract and go do this? And yeah.
Cool. Okay. So Sparky will wire them the other 32,500.
Okay. And she confirms that it's there.
And I'll take that out
just
of our
says-
accounts.
Says, all right, awesome. Glad that you transferred that over. Our last job, they canceled the transfer before it actually hit our account, so I'd hate to have to do what I did to them to you, because you all seem pretty nice. And she just gives you a smile that, looks like she'd murder you in your sleep.
Captain just says Sparky is nice.
Yes, Sparky, one of our crew members, is quite nice. Yes, and and Sparky's just trying to keep their composure through that. And they're going to give Zevi. They're just going to send them a quick contact info for. Let me just check my notes real quick. For Santa Marie, which is my cover name for Conch Corps. So it's going to be this it's like a digital business card, essentially.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. And it'll be like, if you see this number calling you, that's us. And we've got another fun job for you.
Awesome. I think Zevi probably hands you like a physical business card with some
Cool.
contact information too. And just says, yeah, you can, dang it. Trying to super glue this thing back on. I just dropped it. Sorry. She just says, maybe don't use the contact information that I gave you before. Go with this one, because, well, the other one doesn't work anymore. And it's like a business card that's got like some sort of like smudge stain on it, which could very much so be blood.
I'm not going to look too deep into that.
Yeah, it's kind of reddish in color.
Mm-hmm.
That's strawberry jam. She likes it on a toast.
Spoiler alert, it's actually a code that you can scan.
Yeah, it's a QR code.
Would you believe God's tears?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's that, and it's got new contact information.
Cool. Sparky's gonna nod and kind of slip that away into the breast pocket, and then do like a little half bow and back up like a good 3 meters, just kind of doing the polite facing them while they walk, and then once they're decent distance away, they'll turn around and go onto the ship.
You probably overhear Zevi loudly talking to her companion, going like, "Why does everybody back away from me like that instead of just turning around like normal people?"
Yeah, this is some cultures. Some people juggle geese.
In many cultures, you never show a queen your back.
That's true.
The big guy just looks down at Zevi and says, "Gee, I don't know," but you can tell on his face is like, probably because they're scared you're gonna murder them.
Probably because I'm twice your height and I'm terrified of you.
Yep. And they walk back to their ship and fly off.
Ooh, we are 2 for 2, kids. Ooh.
Oh, I just realized I actually have an old picture of Zevi. From,
Thank God. Okay.
Me too. I was like, Jay, I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
She
Don't
has
realize
no.
anything. Head empty, no thoughts, Raven.
No. You do the payment thing and you're on your way.
Listen, you've trained us. You've got us Pavloved with that shit. It
I
happens.
know, I'm sorry.
Don't say
then Rip
sorry when
shows
you're
up.
not Raven. Yeah.
I'm a little sorry.
The whole station's full of bombs.
I'm sorry
alright.
means I won't do it again.
Zemi is us before we lost her. But yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find that. I've got it in here somewhere, so that I can share it with everyone because I can throw it into chat as well. But
While you're looking that up, did we have any other plans beyond this job? Because I know we needed money. I don't remember what for.
Our stocks were low. That's just it.
I
Like
guess,
we had
yeah,
dumped a ton of money into setting up the Shell Corporation.
That's right.
And like paying people off, and so Captain was like,
we should get on this before, because y'all got expensive taste. So
yeah, you all keep spending money and upgrading ships and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go get some money.
Let's go make some money instead of spending it. Cool.
Yeah.
I still think we need Faraday fashion for Captain.
What? Oh, yeah.
With the EM shielding. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I fuck with the comms though.
There you go. There's
Shit.
that is a very old picture, but
what do we do? What do we do now?
As I remember, you were getting money so that you could fuel the revolution.
Yes.
New phone, who dis? Revolution. Yeah, I guess so. So Sparky will once they get into the ship, just kind of look at Captain like, I'll make sure I tell you what my aliases are next time we do this.
Understood.
And then you take the server to Annie and we'll see what we can get off of it.
All right. I think that's a good spot to take a break.
It is that
so we're
time.
gonna take a 15-minute break and let everybody grab food, hydrate, stretch your legs, all that good stuff. But then come on right back because we'll be back in 15 minutes and we'll find out what new shenanigans we're getting into. Be right back. Okay, we are back. So, brief recap. You did a lot of excellent prep work, which made your lives, I cannot tell you how much easier in robbing that bank. Unfortunately, ran into some competing bank robbers who decided to take the more direct approach. And you quite soundly put them in a bad spot for it. Managed to walk out of there with 100,000 in cash and the thing that you went there for, which was a memory card with information that the previous owner, Mr. John Tilton, was using to blackmail executives and other corporations. And you managed to copy that without a trace and make the drop and get paid. Now you've got that information. You've got a server from Mom Sato and a bunch of Mom Sato uniforms. And surprisingly, there's no pressing danger or crises to take care of. You do have the miners that are still fighting their war. But aside from that, the galaxy is your oyster, so to speak. Is there anything that you want to target or anything that you want to explore? There are story elements that I can bring in if you need something to do. But I know you were starting on this, trying to start wars with the corporations, so what would you like to do next?
In the wise words of those floating heads from Rick and Morty, show us what you got! I have no ideas.
I think Sparky's going to check in with, I've just forgotten her name.
Sonia?
Sonia. I almost called her Sophia for some reason. Sonia and Matt from Matt's. And just make sure that see if they're doing okay, see if they need any help with anything, funds, whatever. Because now that we're a bit flush, we could help a little. They are of course going to run this by Captain before they spend any funds. I'm gonna have the credit card.
So Sonia lets you know that what was their name of the company? Was it Vizco?
Yeah.
Okay. I always mix up Vizco and Bosco from water.
From water.
So Vizco has backed off of the mining operation after what the Trash Pandas did.
Good.
And a lot of their troops getting just brutally taken out by Zevi and her crew. They've decided that this is no longer worth their time for now.
Cool.
So Sonia and them are in the process of rebuilding.
Okay, cool.
And recruiting because their numbers are small.
Yeah. Sparky will ask Captain if it is okay to wire them, a small sum to help with the recovery. Like, I'm not gonna send them 100 grand, just 20 grand or something to aid in the rebuilding.
That's fine.
Okay. So yeah, Sparky will offer that.
Okay. They basically offer to just take it as an investment.
Either way,
If you would like to do that with ConchCore to give it some
to
more
make it
legitimacy.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what Sparky would want to do. I think most transactions now are going to be going through ConchCore. I should mention that was what with Zevi, it was also routed through that.
Okay.
Because that's where the first payment came from. So
then they happily accept that, and now ConchCore owns a tiny little share of the independent mining group on.
You have a controlling interest. It was
Sales
on. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're very appreciative, and they're focusing on rebuilding and recruiting more people to come there because they lost a lot of people defending it.
Okay. Sparky will say they'll pass the news on to Matt, and let Matt know that these people are in need of able-bodied people, or machinery or funds or whatever else.
Yeah.
Actually,
Matt's
not even
doing...
able-bodied. It's the future. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Matt is doing pretty well. The space station's doing all right. Good old fuel at Matt's. He's been making some connections with other people of similar mindsets.
Good.
And does have some reports to share of other places that are being oppressed by the corporations and everything.
What, did he just pull a phone book out? Like, sorry, I'm sorry.
But like specific areas where they've contacted Matt and have asked for help.
Okay.
So those are areas that you could go explore and do some things there. That's pretty much all Matt has for you. You've also got the data from Momsato and the blackmail data that you could work on an angle on there. There's also exploring recovering your memories. You still have a bit of a trail with the cartel about their use of memory drugs that you could pick back up. You still don't know where Rip is. There's also exploring more about Sparky with the device.
The device, yeah.
Thing, yeah.
I think Sparky would probably call a family meeting at some point. Kind of maybe the next day, give everyone time to rest and relax a bit. But just as a hey, so what do we want to focus on? Because we probably should discuss these options and see what everyone's interests are. Because Sparky does want to know more about the device that's in their body and about the cloning and how many and etc. But they're also not going to put that before saving people or what the crew wants.
Makes sense.
So that's what Sparky's doing. They're just making sure everyone's talking to each other and seeing who needs what and compiling a list, I guess.
Okay. So we'll say next day, everybody meets up in the mess hall to discuss things.
Yeehaw, am I right?
Yeehaw, am I right? He kind of needs everyone to talk during it. So, yeah, Sparky would have prefaced like that's the purpose of meeting. But they serve up just like a really basic meal, just nothing fancy, just like a what would you call it? Like almost like finger food, just like a brunch kind of luncheon.
Charcuterie board?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, basically like a charcuterie board, just to munch on while they're talking. And they'll say like, there could be cakes. Yeah, they're probably like little finger cakes. In the shape of fingers. Those. They're just fingers.
Daisy's probably just sitting there like treating it like a Lunchable, just stacking up crackers and meat and cheese,
That's how you're supposed to eat it. Is that not what everyone does? So yeah, they'll be like so
this bagel fit in their mouth,
So I talked to Sonia. Cabinet approved some funds, so we invested in them through ContraCore, and they're rebuilding now. I guess Visco backed off after what we did with the trash pandas, and then we have all the Momsato server stuff to work through still. I guess I just wanted to figure out where do we want to go next, because everything went way too well with that bank job. Anyone else feel like that? Did that feel like that went too smooth?
Seth kind of clears the throat and is like, I mean, I had a gun in my face and I was unarmed. So I mean,
but as soon as Seth says I had a gun in my face, Annie just gives him a look. It's like, really? Like doesn't feel so great, does it? But she doesn't interrupt anything. She just very pointedly looks at him when he says that wasn't great.
Sparky also gives Seth a look of like, I also had a gun in my face. I was also unarmed. Like, get used to it, punk.
Yeah. But Seth's just like, I'm just saying, it. I wouldn't have called that easy, but yes, it did go well, better than we normally do.
I mean, our like bar was kind of the museum heist, so compared to that, this was the cakewalk.
Seth's just sort of like nodding, like, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, what does everyone think we should do? And Sparky is clearly like leaving the table open for discussion rather than trying to guide it, because they're like, I don't
Yeah.
listen. I'm tiny. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like,
Yeah. Daisy probably chimes in and is just like, yeah, that's. We've got a lot of stuff that we can use. I'm just not sure the most effective way to use it yet. I kind of feel like we didn't expect to get this far with this. It's like I kind of feel like a dog that's chased the car and caught it, and now I don't know what to do with it.
Sparky looked
Where
at
are we
Captain
with-
Annie. Yeah, good.
Where are we with building our shell corporation?
Quick meta question: where are we with building that? I don't remember how far we got.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. You've got Conch Co or Core, whatever it's
Conch
called.
Core. Yeah.
Conch Core. You've done some transactions with it. You've now made an investment through it. So it's getting there.
Would you say that Conchcore is coming along swimmingly?
I would say that it is coming along swimmingly.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Is there a way to find out how well the propaganda's spreading?
Good point. Because we did
Um,
do propaganda with both Momsato and with Visco, like fighting
Yeah.
them against each other.
If you check the major news outlets for the galaxy, there's not a whole lot about it. Nothing about Momsato. There is got cat hair on my face, sorry. There is some information about Momsato though, or not Momsato, Visco. The fact that they were out there bullying the independent miners, like that became a sort of feel-good piece on most of the media outlets, where they got enough bad attention that the media kind of painted the independents as the underdog that surviving against all odds, and Visco got some bad press for that. And their stock went down a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But yeah, the Momsato stuff isn't on any of the major news outlets. But Sparky, being from Mars, I think you'd probably have, if not, remembering because of the whole amnesia thing, but you might just have some contacts that might reach out to you, or might have had like some bookmarks on your computer from before or something like that.
Right.
To more local news. And that particular branch of Momsato is under local investigation for some shady things.
Interesting.
But that's not getting outside of Mars news.
Yeah, that's super local news. Okay. Any news on the ghosts of Mars while we're at that?
Yeah, if you search the more like tabloid type things,
Yeah.
there's some new stories about like a new
Superstition.
Cryptid.
yeah cryptid. Thank you. That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for. New cryptid sightings on Mars, and
Hell yeah.
the conspiracy theorist and paranormal investigator people are jumping on that.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's about the extent that your actions have had on the galaxy in terms of news.
Okay.
Which, considering how big the galaxy is and how controlled the media is, that's saying something.
It's pretty all right. We did okay.
Yeah.
We could do better.
So, yeah, you've got a lot of options that you can pursue. Daisy's like, I'm not sure where to go with the whole revolution thing, but if there's people that need our help, then maybe that's a good spot to start. We've got money now, so we can also like do upgrades or take a vacation. Could have a real beach party.
Sparky shoots Daisy like a faux hurt look, like
She looks at Sparky's like,
right in front of my salad, like.
She looks at Sparky's like, the bridge one was nice. I'm just saying we could go to an actual beach this time.
Yeah, the sun doesn't, like the lights don't do the sun justice. Annie, what do you think? You're kind of you're better at this whole like data thing than I am.
I mean, yeah, all good suggestions. I mean, I am rather inclined to get my memories back. That we still have that to kind of deal with. I mean, I know a couple of you don't really want to get those back, but
Where can we start with that?
Because the doctor, who's usually quiet,
Mystery of the
probably
Doctor
chime in.
comes to these. Yeah.
Yeah, they're there. They just don't talk very often.
Oops.
Yeah, they'd probably chime in and go, yeah, I've made progress on trying to decipher my notes, and it looks like I was developing this drug, and that well, there's still a lot to decipher, but as far as I can tell, the memories are still there. They're just blocked. So if we can figure out how they blocked them, they being the cartel, of course, perhaps we could derive a way to unblock them. And I do know where the drug was being developed originally, so that's part of the trail where we could pick it up, possibly.
Sparky looks at Annie and looks kind of hopeful, I guess, like very much like what do you think of that?
yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's probably a good a lead as any. But I mean, like I said, I know a couple of you don't really have that as a high priority on your list. So I mean, I don't want to force you guys to come along with that.
Sparky kind of puts down whatever they were eating and just gives Annie this like deadpan look. Like, you came to Mars and went on like a joyride out to an abandoned cloning facility to figure my stuff out. We can take time to figure out where your memories are.
She just kind of gives Sparky a little smile.
Daisy
Provided
looks
Rip doesn't show up.
Daisy looks a little uncomfortable with the situation, like the conversation, but doesn't say anything. And the doctor does add, like, well, while I am very motivated to get my memories back, I should note that if we are able to just unlock all of them all at once, I have no way of knowing what that would do to our personalities.
Sanity.
That too. I suppose that's also a consideration. need to note that down. They just start scribbling down like, remember to consider sanity.
They're gonna find that in like 3 days. Like, when did I write this? So Sparky will say, like, I don't want my memories back. I want to know why they were cloning me and all that stuff, but I definitely don't. But Annie, if you want your memories back, and then Cap too, and Seattle, we should be at our best to do this.
I have no urgency to recover my own, but if another one of you wishes to, I'm certainly not going to stop you.
Okay.
Yeah, Sparky will look at Annie, because this is kind of Annie's like say on whether they do it.
Stop it. Annie just nods. She says, "That's what I want to do."
Okay. Listen, y'all did this with Sparky. I get to do it back.
Yeah. Yeah, Daisy looks really uncomfortable, but it just nods and yeah,
Good, stay uncomfortable, Daisy. You did this, you scoundrel.
That's not why she feels uncomfortable.
Sparky is gonna look at Daisy because like she's clearly got something going on. So Sparky's like, Daisy, anything? Did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
I just with the whole like if you do get your memories back, just worried about those other people coming back. Like who you were before the memory wipe thing. Because like no offense, but like we've established you all were pretty awful before.
Well, but it's just memories though, right? It's not like personality probably, because it would be like putting new wallpaper in, but it's still the same house. And Sparky's like looking at the doctor like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
The doctor's just looking at you like, really? And is just like, I just said I don't know what that will do to your personalities. And as you mentioned, sanity, and I'm not sure about that either. It could be perfectly fine, or you could have a psychotic breakdown, or you could revert back to the people you were before, just with new memories. I'll need to do some tests once we have all the information.
Sparky's doing the like when you're a kid and you're worried that one of your parents is saying something that is a little uncomfortable, and you're just kind of looking to the other people around you like, hey, are you hearing this? Like, is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you want to start with it, Annie? What do you? I mean, after we know, if it'll be okay. This is me meta handing you the reins, Vanessa.
Annie looks to the doctor because the doctor was like, I made headway on my notes. Let's hear it then.
Somebody handed me this thing, so now it's yours.
I feel like we're the vultures in Jungle Books. Like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do?
Basically what this is.
Oh
my goodness.
So I'm going to say on that note, Captain, could I get a sight check using the ship's sensors?
Are we going to go on our little expedition with Rip tagging along? That we shall see.
Yeah, it would be just like a leech to hang on the underside.
It is not a Rip thing.
35 if I use the ship's computer.
Yeah, because I believe that, Raven.
It's not a rip thing.
There's twin brother tear.
You do notice the faintest blip of another ship at the edge of sensor range for a moment, and then it's gone.
Lovely.
You don't get a lot of information, but it's you can tell it's a small single-person craft.
Can I tell anything about their trajectory?
They seem to be following you.
Could have been the robbers. Oh God, no, Sparrow, please no. We have enough
Zoe
trouble on
joining
the
the
ship
crew
as it
would be
is.
Captain's going to let the crew know there seems to be a ship following us.
It's a single-person craft. It's not Rip's ship. Doesn't have the right profile for it.
Okay, but it is a small single person.
I feel like I just have to preface everything with that now. It's like, it's not Rip, but
You
this is what
kind of do.
happens.
You kind
You
of
do. I mean,
because you telling us like, oh, it doesn't look like Rip ship. It's like his car is not part of who he is. He could get a new ship. All
Fair.
that janitor money's got to go somewhere.
It's not Rip, but somebody's following you.
Until proven otherwise, and no proof is valid, we will assume it's Rip.
are they close enough for me to hail them?
You could try. They're on the edge of sensor range, so they're pretty far behind you. But you could try hailing a ship, just like a general, all frequencies kind of thing.
Like a wide burst.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to roll something for that?
No, just what do you want to say?
Excuse you? No,
Just brake check him.
just, hailing ship. Are you in need of assistance?
There's no response.
This is equivalent of turning around to someone down the hall, can I help you?
Yeah. Leave them to the shrieking. Yeah, there's no response, and they don't show back up on the sensors.
Okay, so where does Annie want to take us?
We're just gonna. Sparky's looking around are we just gonna forget that there's a ship? They're freaking. They're a dog. They heard
Yeah.
a car outside and they're freaking out.
Yeah.
I
Vanessa?
would like to know what the doctor said about the notes. Did I miss it while my Zoom was down?
No.
Oh, I think you might have missed something, because the doctor just said that they know where it was being manufactured, so that's the next part of the trail where you could pick it back up. That
Okay,
they know
yeah,
that the
I think
memories are still memories are still there. They're just blocked, and you need more information to develop a thing.
Yeah.
Serum
Sorry,
or
my
whatever
Zoom-
to unblock it.
Yeah, my Zoom has been dipping in and out all session. I have no idea why. It doesn't usually do
It's
this.
done that to me before, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not going crazy. That's fantastic to know. Yeah. Well, then let's take a look where it was being manufactured. Then, if that's
Okay.
the only information that we have, then let's take it and go from there.
Okay. So the doctor gives captain coordinates for the planet. It is sort of like an outer rim of the galaxy kind of system. And I think you've been in that area before. I think that's actually where you one of the first times that you met Rip. When Sparky tried to blow up Rip's ship.
We were in the middle of space, I thought, when we did that. Oh no, because we'd stolen a shipment. That's right.
Yeah. It was a shipment of drug stuff, memory drug stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's over that way. It's in that same system.
I know this is because I'm tired and it's probably not this funny, but all I could think was "thought be gone."
Be gone, Rip.
But for the name for the drug.
Oh.
No, Raven, I was with you on that one.
Okay,
That was-
cool. Because I'm
Okay.
like, but also yes, be gone
Yeah.
thought.
We're all very tired, by the way. Sorry. Also, hold on a second. I have to stop my
where-
cat from ripping up a bag.
That's fair. I'm trying to think like where even this was, because I don't remember us going to a planet to get these drugs. I remember us. They just kind of happened. That's how far ago this was. They just appeared in our hole.
I thought we took them as a job.
They were, yeah, I believe they were a job.
Oh,
Remember
that's
we were
right.
carrying like medical supplies in bulk.
Yeah, right. Holy shit, that was like our
And
first
they were like,
job.
"Don't worry about it." And then
Mhm.
people were
We
like,
were
"You're
like,
gonna need to
"Okay."
worry about it."
Right. And then
'Cause then
Rip
we
just
blew
came
up the
out of nowhere.
ship, and Rip was like,
Yeah.
"What's up, fuckers?"
Yep. That's what
Yeah.
originally got the cartel mad at you.
That's right. My bad. That's on me.
Okay. Jane's still tearing up a bag, but it's not a bag that's important, so he can have
Okay. That's good to know.
fun. Yeah. So you've got coordinates to go to that planet, and can start heading in that direction.
Okay.
Off we go.
We're gonna go get Annie's stuff back. It's time for an Annie mission.
All right. And I'm gonna roll something.
Ma'am.
All right. Could I get another sight roll on the ship sensors?
Yes. $25 plus 31.
Okay. There is another little blip, and then it disappears again. So they are for sure following you. But they're staying at the edge of your sensors. Or just outside of them.
We should get like an upgraded sensor back.
Right.
Something that can electrify the hull too, maybe. Throwing ideas out.
Yeah. All right.
Do you let us know that, Cap, or are you holding that?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Like, they're still following us, but they're not responding.
Okay. Did we? This is more like for Raven, but through Cap. Did we get an idea of what the ship design looks like? Because we could start looking those up.
You get like a basic profile image, like a
silhouette almost.
yeah, thank you. That's what I
Yeah.
was looking for. I was like a shadow, not shadow.
Yeah.
Silhouette. That's the word. And it's definitely not one that you immediately recognize. You can try to do some searching online with tech engineering.
Yeah, I think Sparky will reverse image search and see what they can find.
Okay. 31.
Mhm.
You nothing pops up as a definitive match.
Okay.
But it does look similar to some one-person ships that are made by a particular manufacturer. And they do they have contracts with like really wealthy people to make single person like custom crafts, and the GPF and a couple of corporate contracts.
So it's kind of like a bespoke single person transport. It's like it's a frame that can be used for anything.
Yeah, it's a very high end, very customizable.
Okay.
It's a Dodge Charger,
More like
if cops are using it.
Hmm.
I see what you're saying. More like a
Oh,
like a BMW that
yeah.
that Q's gotten a hold of.
Yeah,
from James Bond.
There is a
Nice.
specific 4-door that I can't think the name of that like is very customizable in that way. It's like it can be a taxi, it can be a cop car, it can be anything.
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's very much like a upper scale
Mhm.
brand.
Mhm.
They're expensive.
Okay. So we steal it and we sell it.
I mean, at this point, I'd like to know it's not going to like shoot me.
Well, that's
but-
kind of what I'm. Yeah, Sparky will forward that information to Cap, but there's no definitive ID on any weapons or make.
Also give you this with your role there. They're not typically used as like attack craft.
I mean, yeah, typically, but I'm sure some gung ho individuals can get guns slapped onto them. But yeah, Sparky will pass that on too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Still gonna head straight to the planet that you're going towards, or do you want
Yeah,
to make any
like, are we
detours
good
or
on
anything like that?
gas? Do we need to stop anywhere?
I don't think we should go to a sensitive place
That's kind of what I'm
Uh,
thinking.
Yeah.
with another craft on our ass. I
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah. Are there any like stops, like a gas station, for lack of a better term, along the way?
Like I eat at
Absolutely.
Joe's.
Absolutely. You're not far from like the inner core of the galaxy, so you've got a distance to go to get there. You'll probably need to fuel before you get to your final destination. So there's any number of planets that you could stop at, or fuel stops, places like that. It's a big galaxy, so literally anywhere that you can think of that you would want to stop, any type of planet or location, you can.
Are there any known for hot springs?
Yeah, there are some planets that have very large, like nature reserves where there's, I think like Yellowstone National Park with hot springs and things like that.
Like
a
for
lot of
tourists?
Yeah, big
Hell yeah.
wilderness area.
It's like Banff up here. Yeah.
And of course, there's places to fuel at that location as well.
Let's go to one of those.
All right.
We're an anime now. We're having a hot springs episode.
I shit you not. We actually had a hot springs episode in one of the games I ran. It's like the best day ever.
That's
You
amazing.
learn so much shit about people. I'm excited.
Awesome. Then yeah, you're able to head there. You've got a few days before you hit the spot that you're going to. So is there anything that you want to do on the ship in the meantime?
I'm not gonna lie, Sparrow had a really interesting idea, and I kind of want to run it by. I know Alex isn't here, but like just run it by Seattle and see if that's something we could do. It's basically like drop the shuttle back and then use that as a scout on the sensors.
Okay. I don't think Seattle would object to that plan.
The reason I bring it to him is because we need him to pilot.
Yeah. Do you mention it to anybody else, like captain or anybody?
No, yeah, Sparky would bring it to kind of everyone's attention, but they would ask Seattle first if he was okay with it. Because if he's not okay with it, then it's a wash anyway.
Okay. We can totally retcon this later if we talk to Alex and
Sure.
they're not cool with it. But I think Seattle would say yeah. If not, Liam can also pilot
Oh yeah,
pretty well.
right. He exists.
And I don't think that Liam would object.
Okay, so yeah, Sparky would run that by Captain and everyone else, and they would be going with Seattle or Liam, whichever case may be.
Okay.
Because they're keen to know who the hell is following them.
Indeed.
Captain would be fine with that.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if anyone else wants to go in place of Sparky or with them, that's also fine. It's not like, oh yeah, Seattle and I are going on a little like, yeah, just chum trip. But we can honestly, that may be like we could do that next episode too.
Yeah.
Because then, deal with Seattle's Seattle and Sparky get into business with each other. Not literally, just talking.
I knew what you meant.
Just had to specify. Yeah, I think that's kind of all Sparky's doing, aside from maybe working out plans with Annie, because that's what you do when you make up a whole jam. You got to make up the plans.
All right, cool. Well, that sounds like we've got a pretty good spot to wrap up here, and a good starting point for next week. Because I know all of us are tired and having trouble thinking. It's been a long week.
I've got tons of ideas. None of them are good.
So we'll wrap up a little bit early with this one. So yeah, next week we'll try out the shuttle idea, and we'll head to the hot springs, and we'll see what happens. This was really great though. I'm really impressed that the bank job went that well. We're gonna go on a raid in just a second, but if you have ideas for raid cry, throw those into chat now. And we're gonna let everybody say what their favorite part was and where we can find them and all that good stuff. So, reverse order, we'll start with Lisa. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you want to share or plug?
My favorite part was probably just like how we were so anxious about like who these bank robbers were. Oh my god. And then it's like, no, they're just us, but less panicky in the museum heist. Like, we were the cool ones this time. And they're probably sitting there like, oh my god, who were they? And except we didn't blow out, okay, we did blow out a wall again, but we didn't have to split anything with anyone. We literally just did what the other mercenaries were too wuss to do, and took the money and ran.
Yep.
I don't know if any of them are explicitly attracted to any of us now, but like, maybe
That's
in
a
a
good
very
question.
confused way, but yeah.
That reminds me, I need to have Val show up again at some point.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Anything else to share or anything?
Nope, I'll be here next week.
All right. Let's hop over to Vanessa next. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything else you'd like to share?
My Zoom disconnected me and reconnected me a whole bunch, so I'm glad it sorted itself out before you said my name. As for favorite parts, I quite enjoyed the fact that even though we ended up interacting with the bank robbers at the end of it, they didn't come in with the intention of like completely murking our asses, so that was fantastic. Annie had the privilege of being able to say, just wait it out for a few minutes, see what happens, whereas typically we don't have that luxury, so that was great. The absolute shit show that was passing the buck at the end. What do you want to do? No, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? But I'm happy also that that we're gonna give her the old college try and see if we can't scrounge up some memory drugs. Because I've been thinking about it since we dropped it. I'm like, do we really need our memories back? Because we seem to be having a lot of fun without them, but also kind of want them back. So maybe we should test it out. But yeah, I'm excited to see where we go from here. And
Same.
Yeah, getting Alex back into the fray of it as well. I'm sure they'll have some opinions on things as well. But yeah, where you can find me next, I will be here. What's today? Saturday. I will be here on Wednesday for another episode of Exodus, which is the game at IGM. So if you'd like to check that out, that'll be next Wednesday. It's a game that's kind of based on BioShock, which is my favorite game series of all time. It was the first-person shooter that I ever played by myself. And after that, just fell in love with it. My total favorite series. So check that out. You can also find my stuff online. I do traditional and digital art. I do have an art Twitter, which I will pop into the chat there. It's at Peppero Draws, which is Peppero like the candy. And I just recently posted some OC work there, and working on a few other things as well. So if you'd like to check that out, certainly do so. The link is there in chat.
Awesome. And last but not least, Jay, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything else you'd like to share?
Honestly, yeah, the bank heist. I think my favorite part, because I had this queued up in the chat too, just in case Captain did go like full android on these idiots, these poor fools. I was gonna write, it has been 0 days since the captain has murked someone. So I was really excited. I was really excited for that, and I think that was my favorite because it was pulled off so like elegantly with using the downgrading of the voice, and like, you know, clearly the arm blades are still out, so it's like, okay, maybe just don't fuck with the robot in the Lolita costume. Like, that's just let it go. Just let it go. We are here for something else.
Yeah.
And the fact that no matter what turn it took, we still had like a decent plan, which kind of worked. I'm just, again, I'm blown away that it worked and that there was no immediate consequence for our actions. I'm sure there'll be one later, but you know, that's how this crew rolls. Yeah, other than that, just passing the buck, because we're all exhausted, and I'm sitting here like, don't let the person who is wired manic tired make the choices, because you will regret it. Yeah, it'll be good to get everyone back together next session. Where you can find me next is dropping shit all over the place. Tuesdays you can find me for Water at 6 p.m. and that's a whole different ball game, because as much as Seattle and Sparky are best friends in this one, Tamsin and Susie are not at all, and that's Alex's nice character. And we're going into some really deep stuff, so it's really good. Deep. So you can find me on Twitter or itch.io at AlienJays. I will be running another series of playtests for my game Afterburner, which is Speed Racer mixed with F-Zero as a tabletop game in the very short form. The first round of playtest was fantastic, and the amount of feedback I got was great. So I've added a lot, changed a lot, and it should be a really good time. So keep an eye on Twitter for that. I'll probably be running like 5 groups this time, just given the amount of interest we've had. So yeah.
Awesome. I'm so excited for that. The last one was so much fun. Awesome. That just leaves me. My favorite part was watching you all succeed and then be really paranoid at your success. Which I understand, but also it was really funny to watch because, yeah, you all just did a really good job, and you did a lot of planning, and you rolled well for your prep, and you just succeeded. It was great. It was really fun to see. And I really appreciated the fact that you managed to do all that without any actual combat, which is impressive, because there are situations where that definitely would have been the easier route to go.
3 seasons running.
Yep. So that was really cool. I really liked that. But the whole episode was great. I also enjoyed the fact that we're all exhausted because it's been a long ass week, and we're just like, what are we doing? I was very easily distracted today too. So that was also just funny. And thank you to everybody who's stuck around with us through all of that. Yeah, that's my favorite part. Where you can find me next will also be Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for Water, which is also a fundamental RPG game. And it was a pretty good cliffhanger last week, so I'm excited for this one. It's going to be good. Other stuff to share is just sponsors, which you can find in chat. Fundamental RPG and Intrepid. You can pick up Fundamental RPG 2nd edition now. It's been out for a couple of weeks. PDF version at my coffee shop, and the physical copy at Amazon. Just look up Fundamental RPG or Raven Evermore. It should pop right up. There's also links there in chat to go directly to it. And then Intrepid is adventuring gear for IRL. Some pretty cool stuff. You can check that out at my coffee shop as well. So we're gonna go raid Boopy, really fun streamer that was introduced to me through Riley, who was on this show last season. Yeah, I've not spent a ton of time on her channel, but it's been really enjoyable when I've been over there. So give her a follow, say hello, and our raid cry is "Oh Captain, my Captain." Copy that right out of chat, and then I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.